You're locked in. Welcome to CosmicPotatoNetwork.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man. That's a big twink.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a toy!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
The city is flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
And welcome to World War G, episode 273. I'm Troy.
Troy is literally one of a kind. He's a goblin or a hobbit or a kobold, which is a type of gremlin.
I'm AJ.
AJ, what kind of name is AJ? Oh, you race cars?
Okay, we have a taste test today. It's kind of a smorgasbord.
I was gonna say, like, okay, Troy, you initially brought down like a couple of like 2 drinks. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's like that's unique. And then like you just grabbed a handful of like other stuff and just threw it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a. It's going to be a UK themed taste test.
How does that taste? How does that taste? How does it taste?
Because I was up early today. I usually wake up around 8 o'clock in the evening, but I went to bed really early, and so I was up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to go get lunch. So I went to Little Taste of Britain. Now, if you don't know, it's here locally. It's an authentic UK fish and chip shop.
Yes.
Where you can go and enjoy all the UK delicacies. It's the only fish I'll ever eat.
Really?
Yep.
Is it cod or is it?
I think it's cod.
Okay.
I want to say it's cod.
But it's deep fried, so it's not bad. Like,
Exactly.
Growing up, my parents would always get us, like, you know, or what was it? No, fish sticks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and those were perfectly fine because it probably wasn't even really fish.
Probably not.
Yeah. But it was deep, like, you know, it was fried up, so it was a little bit better.
Yeah, you'd macerate it in vinegar with some salt. It's good. Anyway, but at this place, they have a little shop right there where you can buy authentic, imported UK candy.
Yeah.
So I bought some stuff.
I'll say.
And now you see, so I'll just kind of run down. Well, I'll tell it as we go.
There we go.
So let's go. We'll start with the drinks first.
All right.
First, we're going to start with this IRN BRU.
That I do know to be like pretty local. I have it in Scotland as well.
Mm-hmm. Or, yeah, as I like to say, IRN BRU. I had this a lot because the ex used to play bagpipes.
Yeah. So they'd have it at like the Scottish events and the
Scottish
Renaissance
festival
things.
Yeah.
Okay. Right off the bat, it smells like bubblegum.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad.
I'm trying to think of any type of soda that you can really compare it to.
You think it's going to be orange.
Yeah.
Because it's orange.
Right.
But no, it tastes like bubblegum.
It reminds me a little bit of like a less carbonated Red Bull.
I can see that.
Or like a watered down Red Bull.
It has an energy drink taste. You're right. How well that kind of carbonated battery acid taste that energy drinks have.
It doesn't have like, I mean, it has a nice aftertaste.
Yeah.
A lot of those ones, like, they kind of, I don't know, aren't so good. But this one's perfectly fine.
Now, this one, I guess this is, I don't know if this is just a UK exclusive thing. I suppose it is. This is called Tango. That's the name of the brand.
And it says orange, so I'm expecting orange.
Yes. Tango Orange Original.
Yeah.
And it's got to be from the UK because everything is like, says per 330 milliliters.
That is so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
For the most part, I can get on board with a lot of things that UK does, but milliliters and all that stuff, no. That's just weird.
Here, if you want to pour you some. It has a kind of tang. Kind of smells like tang.
It does. Mandarin oranges?
Yeah.
Right? Not like a typical orange. And it's way... I don't know, maybe we just color ours a lot more.
It's very pea-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to sell it, Troy.
Yeah.
This one, I actually like this one better than IRN BRU.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, IRN BRU I've had before. That's why I started with that one.
Right.
This all, yeah, you're right. Mandarin orange. I don't know, maybe almost a little pineapple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This one, I'm expecting good things from this one.
Okay.
This is apple tango.
So, I see, like, I'm thinking it's going to be kind of a lighter apple taste, and who knows if it's actually, like, different than our apple.
Yeah. Are the English apples different than our apples?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Different ones.
Did our apples separate from the English apples?
They did.
There's an apple
Armageddon.
Revolutionary War.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Great Apple War.
Okay.
I don't taste apple.
No.
Do you?
No. There were these popsicles that we had back in the day that it tastes exactly like. Oh.
Okay, maybe a hint. Maybe a hint of apple. It's just, these are extremely carbonated.
Yeah.
Like, overly so.
I'm trying to place the taste. It's like a watered down apple juice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like you took apple juice, put a bunch of water in it, and then put carbonation in it.
Oh, no, some carbonated water. Like some seltzer water.
Oh, yeah.
In apple juice. And then shook it around a little bit.
Yeah. Let it sit out for a couple of days. So I would say probably that orange one so far is the best one.
Orange Tango?
Yeah. So.
We're judging all of our UK listeners here.
So this one, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Kit Kat. You've heard of this one?
Yeah.
Now, the difference is, the English Kit Kats, I believe, taste different than ours do.
Mm-hmm.
Because theirs aren't as processed as ours.
And actually probably made with, like, real chocolate.
And I think Nestle is an English company.
Really?
It's in the UK, yeah. It smells different. Oh, it tastes different.
It does.
It's softer.
Yeah.
The chocolate tastes like real chocolate.
It does.
That's not bad.
The wafer's the same.
Yeah, wafer's the same. My American taste buds, just at the beginning, didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because it was used to, it was thinking, okay, I'm going to get a Kit Kat.
Yeah. It's like when you see a bottle that it says Pepsi on it or something, and it's like Coke or something else in it. Or it's just water. Like you're expecting, did you ever do that with your friends? Crack it open just a little bit, pour out all the soda, and then fill it full of water? So when
I never did that.
Oh. Yeah, we jokingly do that to our friends, some of them, and they crack it open, and then you take a big swig expecting one thing, and it's completely different. Yeah.
But now that the brain has processed it, it's not bad.
No.
Yeah, those are actually pretty good.
Are we doing some sort of on a scale from like UK to American? Which Kit Kat do you prefer?
I have to say I prefer the American Kit Kat only because that's just one I've eaten for all these years.
Right.
Not saying this one isn't bad, because it's good.
I like the American Kit Kat. I like the taste of this Kit Kat. I think a little bit better. But as far as like aftertaste, I like the American one a little better.
Yeah, this one's going to stay with you for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tastes like you just kind of had some cardboard. Eating some cardboard.
So this, and I just grabbed a bunch of random ones.
Yeah.
This is called Lion.
Okay. I believe I've actually tried this.
Have you?
Before. Yeah.
I've never tried this.
It's about...
Well, apparently,
Europe.
there's a new recipe, and it's extra crispy. So this is... And as soon as it... I don't know, I can't.
We're going to try to compare it to any type of candy bar here.
Sure. Okay, I'll break off a chunk here.
Okay.
So it seems... There's a wafer inside.
Yeah.
It looks like it has like the little Krispies, like Rice Krispies around it, covered in chocolate.
Kit Kat meets a Nestle Crunch bar with caramel. I don't...
I'm not hating that.
That is like a mixture of everything.
I like that quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. That's pretty dang delicious.
It's
It has a different chocolate taste though, right?
I was gonna say it's
not...
closer to like American chocolate.
Mm-hmm. But the caramel is definitely different, more subtle. It's like you kind of had a caramel popcorn in the center of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I like that. I enjoy that one a lot. Okay, now this is a Nestle Milky Bar.
Okay. I've had the little candies, like the Lifesavers.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's going to be pretty creamy. And I know a lot of these UK chocolates are aerated.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Is that one of them? Where it's got little air pockets?
Possibly. I know this one does.
Okay.
We'll get that one in a second. So this is, let me see. We got white chocolate. I don't know. Let's just dive into it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. You kind of open that like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Kind of I was expecting a golden ticket.
So offhand, I'm thinking like the white chocolate that Hershey's does.
Yeah. It does not smell appetizing.
It doesn't smell great. No.
Just saying.
I mean, it's white chocolate. It's just, that's all it is. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine because it's just white chocolate, but
I'm expecting something else.
Yeah, it should be.
My American like mouth wants more, either a crunch or something.
Yeah. Like Hershey's cookies and cream.
Mm-hmm.
It's missing the cookies.
It is.
All right. Stick that there.
I've never been a big like white chocolate fan.
No. I have it like maybe once a year. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
It tastes like a candy bar version of white chocolate, hot chocolate.
Okay. So that was boring. This one.
So how's it going as far as like favorite to least favorite so far?
Favorite to least favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite so far has been this Lion Bar.
Right.
And then, are we counting the drinks too?
Let's do drinks separate.
Okay. And then the Kit Kat.
Mm-hmm.
And so far this white chocolate.
Okay. Same.
Now this is called a drumstick.
Although I do have to say that the white chocolate initially didn't smell the best, but the aftertaste isn't bad.
No, aftertaste isn't bad.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's like if the taste is good at the beginning, the aftertaste isn't so good. But if the taste at the beginning is not so good, the aftertaste is better.
I'm trying to think of any type of candy here in America that I'd be like, this has it tastes fine initially, but then it has a bad aftertaste. Right?
I can't think of one.
Maybe we're just used to it?
Probably. All right, so this one, like I said, this is a drumstick, and it is raspberry and milk flavor chew bar.
Okay. Like a Laffy Taffy?
Yeah. So this isn't going to be easy to get into. Hang on. Let me get it. Hey.
Is there any jokes on there?
It's the UK, of course there isn't.
They're very serious.
They are. They're a very serious country. I say that. And, Monty Python's from there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, this is very Laffy Taffy-ish. Laffy Taffy, Airhead.
It smells really good.
Ooh.
All right, found my new favorite.
That's pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
What are those cream savers?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a chewy cream saver.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I can get to it. Wow.
I'm not a huge raspberry fan, but it's very subtle.
Right. It's like chew, kind of like a high chew. You know, some of those other ones where it's just you taste it, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah. It's not overly raspberry.
Dang.
That's good. I wasn't expecting much from that.
No.
Honestly. I just grabbed it like, well, grab this one too.
Just try to like mix it up a little bit from chocolate.
Okay.
And it's even got a pleasant aftertaste.
Yeah.
What? Oh, man.
Weird.
Way to go, UK.
Okay. So this one is called a Whisper bar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like somebody from the UK trying to say whisper. Whisper. And
that's probably the commercial, too. It's like, whisper. Get yourself a whisper.
And like you said, this is aerated.
Yeah.
Cadbury milk chocolate bar.
Ooh. I have high hopes for this, but I'm trying to keep my expectations like...
Well, Cadbury, they know what they're doing.
They honestly do.
Ooh, I love the...
This is like, you'd expect it to be like a heavier bar.
Oh, it's light.
This sucker's way light, yeah.
If you break it open, it kind of looks like the surface of the moon.
Ooh, yeah. Or like a lava rock.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, that was disappointing.
Well, no, like the chocolate, like you bite into it and you immediately are able to bite through the whole thing. There's not much of a like.
It just crumbles.
Yeah.
It completely crumbles.
The chocolate's really good though.
The chocolate is good.
Once you actually crumble it.
And chocolate's very good.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I want more.
Right.
I want something else there.
It's kind of as if they took like Milky Way and you know that stuff that's like in the center of it?
Yeah.
Hardened that up and made almost like astronaut ice cream out of it. And you bit into that and it just kind of dissolves, but that is good though.
It is good. It's very good chocolate. But it's just, I don't know.
Where it just, I'm not a big fan of just like solid, just chocolate.
Yeah. It just needs something else.
Now, if they were to put like a caramel center.
Yeah, that would be good. Or maybe like something on top.
Yeah.
Maybe like a nut or something on top. Or, something.
Yeah.
Come on, UK.
So.
Quit being so boring with your candy.
What's our verdict here?
So the first one. Number 1 is the Lion Bar.
Yes.
Number 2.
Oh, actually, for me personally, I did like this, dude. Like this guy. What is it? What is his name?
Drumstick.
Drumstick. That was probably my favorite, and then the Lion Bar.
Okay, so I'll do my ranking first then.
Yeah.
So the Lion Bar first, then the drumstick, then the Kit Kat, then the Wisp, and then the Milky Bar.
For myself, it's drumstick, Lion Bar. I still like that Nestle. Like, I mean, I like the Kit Kat, but I can't get over the aftertaste. That kind of bothered me a little bit.
Your American senses just...
Yeah.
Reject it.
So then the Nestle one, then the Kit Kat, and then the white milk chocolate. As far as the sodas go, Tango, the orange one, was probably my favorite. And then, would you go with IRN BRU? Or?
I would go with IRN BRU. And then the apple.
Same.
Personally.
Yeah. The apple just... There was no apple.
I want more apple.
Yeah. Is that too much to ask in an apple soda?
All right. Well,
that was awesome. I feel like I went there. I don't need to really travel because, I've tasted everything there is.
And now I'm tasting like raspberry and chocolate, and I got all kinds of things going on right now.
A cornucopia of UK.
Yes. So let's get to This Week in Geek.
This Week in
Geek.
Luckily, you have the first story, so I can sit over here and get all this out of my mouth.
Yeah. This is just recent news that Pokemon Snap is going to be coming to Nintendo Switch.
Great.
It initially debuted on the N64 and was such a fun little game. To me, it was kind of like the Pokemon's version of Animal Crossing, something that was pretty chill, that you could just pass time with and collect these different Pokemon by taking cool photos of them.
Right.
And the unique thing and the thing that you wanted to try to capture is because you are usually moving along and these Pokemon don't stay still, right? Especially the birds.
Yeah.
They're constantly moving. So to capture them in just the right lighting, to have a cool background and to get that perfect shot was actually pretty challenging.
Yes, it was.
Right? It was, and this one looks to be pretty similar, but they've added an addition. I don't know if these carts are able to go all over the island or if they just kind of stay still. But do you remember those glass vehicles that they had in Jurassic World?
Yeah.
Very similar to those.
Okay.
Like a big orb that you're looking around, so you don't have to worry about obstructions of the vehicle. It's just strictly glass.
Okay.
But it actually looks like it could be a lot of fun. And the graphics are so much better.
Right. Yeah, I remember playing Pokemon Snap on N64, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun.
Oh, yeah. And it was just going around just taking pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think they kind of missed the hype train, though? Because Pokemon Go was huge but it was like a flash in the pan.
For a hot second.
Yeah, and then they tried to keep it alive by adding different things. Like if they would have had where you could have Pokemon battles and you were walking down the street and so you look over at somebody and they look over at you and you battle.
Yeah.
Man, that could have been something great.
Connect and battle. Yeah, that would have been great.
But to just kind of go around and have to take these different places, these gyms over, and I don't know. It was a little bit of a missed opportunity, but this one I think will be perfect. I guess it's because I'm not as familiar with all the other Pokemon that I kind of want to just see the original ones, but it also looks like it's going to be expanded upon, so even after you've explored all there is to see on this huge island, which you can go underwater and you can go in the air.
Oh, really?
You can go all over this huge island.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks like they might be expanding and adding on to it, and so that they can introduce new other Pokemon.
See, that's awesome because the original one I think was just the original Pokemon.
Yeah, 150.
150.
Yeah. Well, 151. Well, is it 52 because you have Mew and Mewtwo?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. But you had to stay on, you're just on the stationary track, and But if on this one, if you can go underwater and up in the air and stuff like that, that's cool.
That takes it to another level.
That should be fun.
I still want them also to bring back Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
That was a blast, especially when you were able to take your Pokemon that you've collected and raised and, matured and have them fight against, like on your Game Boy Color, that you could hook it up.
Right.
and fight other people. It was great. Except for I leveled up like this Charizard to like level 100 and it was pretty unbeatable.
Yeah, that was always my favorite. Grab another swig of IRN BRU!
Sound like the dude from Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
that's immediately
the Scotsman.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo,
snacks more.
Nintendo says selling Animal Crossing New Horizons villagers and items for real-life money violates their terms of service. So if the GF is listening, you might want to cool it.
Are they going to start banning people?
Uh-huh.
Really?
They are cracking down. Yep. The Big N has actually spoken out about this phenomenon, and they want those involved to know that they should consider calling things off. Nintendo has stated that selling in-game items and islanders for real-life money is actually against the game's terms of service. Furthermore, Nintendo has said they'll consider going after... Here it is. They'll consider going after each person/company doing this on a case-by-case basis.
Oh, wow. Whether how severe it is, if it's an individual only selling one or two, it's not going to be as bad as a whole. Because I imagine there's people that just spend days collecting these because there's real money to be had, right?
Yeah.
See, this isn't it's something new. I know there's been people in other games, especially WoW, that have just gone out and mined certain stuff and sold rare items to other people.
But I think with World of Warcraft, I don't think it's against their terms of service. I think that's just something you can do.
Right.
But yeah, it is with Nintendo, and they'll come after you if you keep it up.
Are they saying okay, after this date, we're gonna come after you, or just right away?
They just kind of stated recently, that they know this is going on and they're gonna start
cracking down.
Yep.
So, how would you actually go about selling a villager?
Okay, so here's what happens.
Is this slave trading?
No.
People aren't bidding on these Animal Crossing people?
No.
Okay.
So what happens is you have villagers that move in and out of your little island all the time.
Right.
Right? And so if you have one that... It takes them about 2 days to move out. 1 day to tell you they're decided to move, and you can say yes or no.
And then don't they move to your little refugee camp?
No.
The little tents that you have set up?
No.
Okay.
They'll say, I'm thinking about moving. You can say yes or no.
Yeah.
Then if you say yes, then the next day, all their stuff is all packed up in boxes. And it's right then that you can go tell other villagers, hey, I have so-and-so in boxes. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And if you can have somebody else come and talk to that person, talk to that villager, they can convince them to go move to their village.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a rare villager that's going to move, say, hey, I have this guy, he's moving, how much you want for him?
Yeah. Do you set is there already an established amount for some of these people, or you can set your own price?
I think you can set your own price depending on the rarity of the villager.
What's the rarest villager out there?
His name is...
And how much does he go for?
That's actually the one that the GF bought. Rare villagers in Animal Crossing. Let's see, who is it? What is his name? Shoot. Is it Isaac or something? Oh, dang. I can't remember.
I just got you in trouble with her. Calling you out on it. So, okay. If you do not catch them in time, and say they come to your village on a day that you're not really playing, they can just come and go, right? Or will they...
No.
Like, even if you're just playing around, they'll automatically come up to you, or do you have to actually, like, seek them out a little bit?
So here's what happens. They won't just come and go automatically. What'll happen if you're out and about, if you're wandering around, and you see that they have, like, a thought bubble over their head,
Mm-hmm.
and they're pacing back and forth, most of the time that means they're thinking about moving.
Right.
So you can either ignore it,
Okay.
or you can go up and speak to them and say, hey, and they'll say, you know, I'm thinking about moving, what do you think? And you can say yes or no.
What are they typically going for? Like $5 to $10, or is this like?
Well, the
big money?
GF bought hers for $15.
Oh wow, okay.
Um,
You just Venmo them?
yeah, or PayPal, you know, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I can't find it. I don't know.
But apparently there's some money to be made,
There
right?
is. There is.
So, how would they do that? Like, if they were to actually try to monetize this, you could have a bunch of people that were sitting around just playing the game, trying to, like, find new villagers. There's probably a way to kind of, is there a way to, like, kind of coax them? Or, like, get them, you'd have to have a cool island for them to want to come to it initially, right?
No.
They just randomly appear?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So you just get like 20 people sitting down, like playing this game, and then like they find a new person. They're like, "Hey, I've got somebody in a box. Like, tell $20."
Yeah. Because nobody can enter your village unless you give them a code to do so.
Okay.
So if they don't get the code and don't get that villager, they're just gone.
Do you see them walking around or talking to them? Like,
you can, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you can see the villager, the other person show up and go and talk to them, and
can you, once they actually like purchase the person and they leave, are you able to restrict that person from coming back to your place, or
no?
Do they can just go visit it whenever?
You can go visit whenever, yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to sell something else, could they kind of poach these people?
Oh.
They go back to your island and you're like trying to sell somebody else something, and they just like convince them to go to yours.
Oh no, because they couldn't come back to your island. That's the thing.
Okay.
Because the code changes.
Oh, it's only good for one time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one visit.
Yep. Once you leave, you got to have the code again. So yeah, but I didn't realize there's such this like black market trading going on.
Yeah,
from Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Like now I've come across like some really cool rare people. Or how do you know how rare they are?
Through like social media and through and like Animal Crossing.
You have a 1 in 500 chance of getting this person.
Yeah,
you have a 1 in 200 kind of a deal.
Because there are over 300 plus villagers you can get.
Okay.
And some are extremely common that you get.
Who would that be?
Well, there are ones that have appeared just throughout every game.
Yeah, okay. Kind of staples of the Animal Crossing world.
Yeah. Those are the really common ones. And then it just kind of varies by level of how rare the person is.
Could you? I guess you could technically sell enough of these that you could pay for your game, but I can't imagine you actually making, hundreds and thousands of dollars off of this.
No.
It's just a kind of a fun way. Is it on the same forums that people are telling them about the turnip prices?
I don't know. Because I haven't done...
Do you actually have to go to, like, the dark web?
Well, for the turnip prices, people set up Discords and stuff. And
right.
Yeah. Say, hey, I'm selling turnips for 500 and something a piece.
Mm-hmm. And then they'd still have the code. They'd have to have a code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So maybe it's the same thing. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. So here is the guy. Raymond is his name. This is the one that the GF bought. Look how much it's going for.
Oh wow, $120.
$120. She bought him for $15.
That's a steal.
I mean, no, she didn't. Nintendo. If anybody from Nintendo was listening, she didn't do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I guess these guys are some of the rarest right here that you can get.
Okay.
So there's
They don't give you their names. They're that rare. They don't have names. They are the nameless.
Octopi. Octopi seem to be the rarest villagers in Animal Crossing. There are at least 383 villagers who could potentially end up... 383 who could potentially end up moving to your little island. And they span the animal kingdom to include mammals, reptiles, fish, and birds. There are several members of each animal species, but the octopus seems to be the least common, with 3 known tentacled characters: Marina, Octavian, and Zucker.
Okay. Huh. So be on the lookout for these villagers.
Be on the lookout for the octopussies.
Is that the name of a James Bond movie?
It is.
So Stephen King is in talks and when he was interviewed, said that he wants to write a novel about Jason Vorhees. His life, his background, his story, and anything that Stephen King touches turns into a movie.
Right.
Right? It still seems like it's the year of Stephen King. I would hope that they would have a more interesting, in-depth background story for him, but it could be pretty interesting, and it could work.
Yeah, it could.
They've already kind of established him, right?
Kind of. I mean, these horror movies go so convoluted after a while, and they change the canon backgrounds all the time.
So if Stephen King were to touch it, could he actually potentially turn this into this is canon?
I would think so.
Right?
I mean, it's Stephen King after all.
Right.
I'm just hoping that it doesn't turn into like the Halloween reboot that we got a few years back.
Oh, from, the Scary Stories?
No, from Rob Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
Did a couple Halloween movies.
You didn't like the newest one, Halloween, like the remake?
No, not that one.
Oh.
There were 2 that came out like back in 2007, 2008 that Rob Zombie directed.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and they weren't great.
No.
So I'm hoping it doesn't end up like that. That you don't take this established character and just, make it crappy, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he would focus more on like the Camp Crystal Lake and kind of his interaction, like when he's a child, or would he focus more on when he's like a teenager or an adult? That's pretty warped and messed up.
Well, knowing Stephen King, he'll probably go throughout his entire life.
Yeah.
And the book will probably end up being 1,500 pages long.
Yeah. I still would probably read it. I don't like all of his books, and it's not like I would...
I'll get the audiobook.
Ooh, if he were to read it, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
It would be really neat if he could actually get his son, Joe Hill, to help out on it and to kind of be there as well.
Yeah, I mean, because Joe has done comic books.
Yeah.
So maybe he could kind of do a comic book adaptation.
Kind of go more of a direction like they did with like Lock and Key.
Or like a graphic novel.
Yeah?
I mean, you could have the novel too, but then have,
in graphic novel form.
Could have it in graphic novel form too.
Rather than go to book. That could work a lot better. Because then you could do some like crazier, outlandish, like over the top stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to do in like a movie.
Right.
It's got potential. Would there be any other ones that you'd like to see Stephen King actually do? Freddy Krueger?
I don't know. Having Stephen King do an adaptation of a character that's already existing is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's ever done that before. Like, all of his stuff has always just been his own original ideas.
Right.
So I don't know if this is going to work or not. I have no idea.
So this is kind of more of a passion project for him?
Yeah, it seems like it.
He's like, dang, I wish I would have created this character because I would have done it differently. I would have done this.
Right.
And that's the book.
So we mentioned Willy Wonka and Charlie and Chocolate Factory earlier.
Yeah.
This reminded me of that. The lickable screen is being developed, and it can replicate the taste and flavors of food. While you shouldn't lick your mobile devices for obvious reasons, this particular gadget relies on you doing just that. Thanks to Homai Miyashita, a researcher from Meiji University in Japan, there's a new gadget that only works when you lick it. I know a couple things like that only work when you lick it. Called the Norimaki Synthesizer. This device can artificially recreate any flavor by triggering one of the 5 senses each person has on their tongue. This handheld lickable screen works by using different gels that represent one of the 5 tastes, which are salt, acid, bitter, sweet, and savory, called umami.
Is it acidic, or is it more of like, isn't there a spicy or a heat like one?
I think that's acid.
Okay.
I think that would fall under acid. When a person licks the device, they ordinarily taste all 5 flavors. However, when an electric current is applied to the device, the researchers demonstrated that they could weaken or strengthen certain taste combinations to create different pairings.
So you lick the screen and you get electrocuted,
right?
Taste something. Ooh, this has potential.
Yeah.
How would this really? I guess if you are watching a Cooking Network show, and they're like,
exactly.
Oh, I wish that you could taste, this thing here.
Exactly.
And then you could actually like lick your screen.
So many times I've watched cooking shows or something that Gordon Ramsay is cooking, like, that looks so good, I wish I could taste it.
Yeah. They could actually duplicate that?
With this device, might be able to. So maybe what they can do is you can have, like, you hook it up to, like, your phone or something, and then type in what you want it to taste. So you can type in, like, the ingredients and stuff.
Right.
And then it can, put so much gel into one thing and so much of this in the other, and then when you lick it, you actually taste the thing.
See, but I feel like that would be kind of up to interpretation, right? Because when you marry together certain ingredients, it kind of like changes the whole combination. So even though you say like onion, garlic, this, right? When you actually like cook them together, it changes. There's like a smokier taste to it.
I imagine it would be very generic.
Right.
Maybe in the future we'll get something that is a lot more sophisticated. Like you could put in 2 teaspoons of, smoked paprika and a pound of I
feel like I'd rather just try the real food.
Well, yeah.
But
if you're just sitting at home, what are you going to do? You can't go have a Gordon Ramsay burger. You can't go make one.
They should just have it where this is the new diet. right?
There you go.
So rather than like eating, because there's no calories in licking this, right?
Right. You just, it's the safe way to not become bulimic.
Oh, okay.
Because you just get the taste, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't have to go and
so
vomit up everything.
You'll lick the screen and then you'll eat your rice cake or whatever you're having, right? A celery stick.
There you go.
Barbecue. Oh.
And then you get the safe alternative to bulimia.
I would prefer. I don't know. Would you prefer smell-o-vision or would you prefer taste-o-vision?
Taste-o-vision.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd rather taste it than like smell the food?
Yeah.
Because then it only makes you more hungry for it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
When you taste something, it hits all the senses. When you smell it, you just get just the smell.
Yeah.
Although smell and taste do go hand in hand, but,
Wouldn't that be crazy if in the future we're watching movies and some of those crazy scenes where you're in a swamp and you're going through the woods and you could smell it?
Yeah.
They could pump into the theater the smell of rain. So you're watching this like horror movie where it's like raining there.
Some theaters do that.
Really?
Yeah. Called 4D. There was a movie or a theater at Disneyland. They have an interactive theater there.
Oh, that's Soarin', California.
Not that one.
Okay.
It's an actual movie theater.
Okay.
And we went and watched Maleficent.
Yeah.
And when there was like fire or something, they'd pump in smoke. Not actual smoke.
Mm-hmm.
If it was, that'd be dangerous.
Right?
Everybody's passed out in the theater.
What's going on here?
But yeah, they'd pump in like pine tree smells if it's in the forest and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Those theaters exist.
Oh, that would be gnarly if it was like bad smelling corpses. You're watching like a horror movie and then they just pump in nasty smelling stuff that you're
pump
just
in
like,
that raw egg.
Yeah.
Rotten egg smell.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. You'd have to sign a waiver before you go in.
You're like, hey, your senses are going to be like,
You may vomit.
Yes.
Warning, you may vomit.
I'd still probably go see one of those movies just because it'd be kind of
Me
cool.
too.
Yeah.
Just have the experience.
Man, we come up with like $1 million ideas left and right.
I'm saying.
Like, movie ideas, all sorts of stuff. So, it looks like this is kind of a sad story for Troy, especially, that it looks like the last ride. The Undertaker is officially retiring from the WWE in-ring competition.
Yep. Big old Mark Calloway, he's done.
After 30 years, he's calling it quits. He's retiring at the ripe old age of 55.
Yep.
But he's been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's ever since he was 25. He's kind of got this like iconic look to him too, right?
Yes.
The trench coat and the hat.
And he's changed up his look quite a bit over the years. But yeah, he's basically stuck with the same thing.
This kind of comes in lieu of 2020 and not really anybody competing right now at the moment. They're looking like they're going to revamp it and try to do something, but he's kind of had, run his course.
Well, and I'm sure his body just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with those like all over the top stunts that they do, you have to be pretty dang fit, like at Olympic level fit.
Yeah.
Because they are gymnasts and acrobats.
Yes.
If you break it down, as much as they are performers, that I would say that goes kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
But if you were to create a Mount Rushmore of the WWE, who's going on it, Troy?
Sting, Hulk Hogan,
okay,
The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Ooh, those are some good picks. See, you don't think like John Cena or The Undertaker would make the cut?
Especially not John Cena.
As far as like, I mean, I get that he's more of like the Deadpool.
Well, here's the thing about John
group.
Cena. The reason I say those four is because those four essentially changed professional wrestling.
Sting did?
Yes.
I'm not too familiar with this character.
Sting was pretty much the face of WCW.
Yeah.
He was the one that brought fans in to WCW. He was pretty much their biggest star for a long time.
Until who? Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. Until Hulk Hogan jumped over to WCW.
And then after Hulk Hogan, he kind of passed it on to The Rock and...
Well...
How does this go?
I don't know, because now I'm thinking like Macho Man, Randy Savage. No, I'm sticking with those four. Sting because of what he meant to WCW. Hulk Hogan because he's pretty much the professional wrestler.
Yeah.
When you think of pro wrestling, you think of Hulk Hogan. The Rock because The Rock has brought a lot of attention to wrestling by also being an actor.
Star, yeah.
Yeah. So he has a lot of crossover there. And then Stone Cold, for the same reason I'm putting Sting up there, because of what Stone Cold meant to the WWE.
Okay.
Stone Cold changed essentially the face of the WWE.
I remember growing up, there were tons of kids that had shirts. You know?
Yeah. Stone Cold basically introduced the Attitude Era of the WWE, which is arguably its most popular era, which lasted from about 96, 97 to about 2001.
Yeah.
Which is when I was really into it.
But Undertaker, like he didn't do that crossover. He stuck with just the WWE for its like for his whole career. And he wouldn't make the cut. He'd be maybe like... He'd be probably top 10, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He would be. I'm saying my personal Mount Rushmore would have those four guys on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Undertaker would be in the top 10. Macho Man would be in the top 10. I'm trying to think of some others. Rey Mysterio Jr. would be in the top 10.
The X guy? Can't think of his name.
X-Pac?
Maybe. I don't know.
Shawn Michaels. He'd be one to be up there.
Just these, mainly the...
Andre the Giant.
Yeah. Oh,
He'd
for
be there.
sure. This is a ginormous dude.
Oh, Andre the Giant.
Would he make the cut over Sting?
No, I gotta leave Sting in there.
Really?
Yeah. Because Sting brought me back to wrestling. See, I went through basically 3 stages of professional wrestling in my life. When I was a really little kid, I watched early WWF.
Mm-hmm.
Like early 90s WWF. I fell out. Then I started seeing shirts in middle school that said like NWO and these things. I saw shirts with like Sting on them. Like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
So I started watching it and I got invested in it again for several years. Then I dropped out. And now I'm in the point in my fandom where I'm like, I like to learn about all the stuff that went on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've said that before. And I like going back and looking at classic matches and you know,
these iconic ones that kind of like were game changers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm just barely a casual fan. Yeah, but I gotta leave. I gotta leave Sting there. Sting's my boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biggest wrestler of all time? Is it Hulk Hogan or is it The Rock? As far as popularity goes, or is it Stone Cold Steve Austin? Because at their height, they were all like
okay. So if we're going by their peak,
yeah,
I would say Hulk Hogan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan was huge. Hulk Hogan sold out arenas.
Yeah.
He's the reason people came and watched professional wrestling.
He's in a lot of those video games.
Yeah. He brought professional wrestling into mainstream, where it was kind of more of a niche thing that people liked. He's the one that really brought attention to it.
But then you've got The Rock that started doing movies and still kind of goes back every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, and The Rock's huge.
Yeah.
That's true. But
dude, Fast and the Furious franchise meets, WWE.
But when The Rock was coming up professional wrestling, okay, here's the way to put it. The Rock and WWE basically reached their peak at the same time.
Yeah.
Whereas Hulk Hogan kind of pulled wrestling along with him.
Right.
To the top.
Okay.
Whereas, like, The Rock and WWE kind of went up at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because there were still other big named, players in the game, right?
Right. So basically, like...
It wasn't like he had to put it on his shoulders and,
Yeah. Which is what Hulk Hogan did.
Okay.
So that's why I would say that.
And if we're speaking strictly just, like, wrestling, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although... What's Hulk Hogan? Does he have a catchphrase? Okay, now what's The Rock's catchphrase?
He has a lot.
What's his iconic one, though, dude? Right? Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah.
If you don't, then you better tell somebody. Yeah. He's more he might be more memorable.
That was Road Dogg, by the way, what you just said.
What?
That was his catchphrase.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Dude,
that wasn't...
Are you arguing with me?
Yes, as a... knowledgeable wrestling fan. Then you better.
That was Road Dogg. Rock's catchphrase was just if you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Yeah,
that's it.
It wasn't that like the second half to it. What? No way. All right.
Because the Road Dogg, he was part of DX. It was him. He was a tag team with him and Mr. Ass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that was his music.
All right.
Your ass better call somebody. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I swear.
You're swearing? Dude, out of the two of us, who watched it every week?
Me? No, just kidding. I didn't. Yeah, you did.
All right. Well, that was fun. I don't get to talk about professional wrestling much. I enjoyed that. So this is kind of cool. The FDA has approved its first prescription video game for kids. There's no question that video games are good for kids, socializing with friends, improving hand-eye coordination, and educational content are just some of the benefits kids can enjoy thanks to family-friendly video games and apps. One game developer has taken that idea a step further and created the first video game used as an additional treatment for kids who struggle with ADHD. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration just approved the game as a treatment option, making Endeavor, which is what it's called, the first prescription video game in history.
Oh. This is a game changer right here.
I think that's cool. I think, it's, as I said here, it can be digital therapy for help improving ADHD symptoms. It's designed for children between the ages of 8 to 12. Yeah. And it's on the iPad and iPhone.
Really?
Yep.
So let's check this out.
Let's see. The iPad and iPhone. Yeah, the iPad and iPhone game comes with a companion app for parents and caregivers to track kids' progress.
So they can kind of see. That would be really useful. Are there any other applications that we could see this working for other, disorders or diseases, or I guess I don't know. Is that the correct terminology for it?
I'm trying to think.
Because I get that it would work well with like ADHD,
Right.
Because then like you could help them focus. Perhaps also, what is it like? It's not Tourette's, but it's where you just, is it still ADHD where you're all over the place, where you're just kind of spazzing out and you need like something to kind of calm you down and to
Is that
focus?
like, isn't that called like hyperactive disorder or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see with that.
Okay.
I think maybe there's a lot of things that maybe children struggle with that video game applications could actually help with.
What about
I don't
discussing? What about discussing certain topics?
Well, like the birds and the bees.
Yeah, through video games.
You could do that,
right?
You could do that.
You're like, kids, it's about that time to have the talk. Here, turn on your PS5.
Yeah. Play this game. Ask me questions if you want. After.
Can you imagine the kids over there like X. No. There's got to be a rhythm to it, like X square, X square. Like mix it up a little bit, you know. You don't just like
XXO. O triangle. Triangle X.
Oh. You're over there with the joystick. Wow.
Now, when you're pressing X, use this joystick.
Oh, wow.
You have to be gentle with the joystick. Don't be rough with it.
Oh, there's even a touchpad, too.
If you're rough with it, you're going to break it. It's not going to work.
You're just like, oh, you've completely turned her off.
Well, way to go, son.
She's just like, it's not you, it's me. And like, just walks off.
Shuts the door.
She's like, I've got a headache. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, it can't help it. It's like our late night episode, right?
This is World War G After Dark. That's true.
One last final story, speaking of video games, that I wanted to get to and talk about.
XO, X triangle, XXOO. Sorry. Go
ahead. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is zooming its way onto... This is just like took place yesterday. It's now available on the Switch and PS4. They have remastered it, upped the graphics. You get the same maps. You get the same characters. Like, this is a trip down memory lane. Like, for anybody that ever played the N64.
Right.
And the nice news is it's only $15.
Really?
Yeah. So it's actually, like, pretty reasonable for what it is. And they did say they gave some like certain tips about it that if you because each character, that was kind of cool, is some of them had better speed, better turning, like whatever your play style was, you kind of picked a character that was similar to that.
Right.
Did you were you kind of more like Anakin where it's just like reckless speed?
I think I played Anakin the most, yeah.
Okay. I always hated it when you were playing against Anakin, and he's just like, take that, slime ball, when he passed you. I'm like, mother, son of a...
Yeah.
I will kill you, little child. Like, yelling at you, calling you all sorts of names. But they do also have it where it's split screen, too.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you play this one that much growing up?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I played it quite a bit.
This was probably the coolest. Okay, besides Darth Maul, pod racing was the coolest thing to come out of Episode 1. Right? And they capitalized on it, and it was perfect, and it was crazy because N64, that had the weirdest, coolest remote ever out of like the whole series, right?
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, all the other ones kind of made sense why they were created, but I don't know. I get it that it had like the Z button down at the bottom.
Yeah. It was like an M.
Yeah.
But the bottom of the M was really long.
Mm-hmm. I always hated those one kids that would hold the controller and like just put one finger on the like the center joy console stick.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing?
What
are you doing with your life?
Yeah, no.
No, you held like this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then like when you flipped it over to like to where you use the D-pad as well and back to it. Yeah. There's a correct way to hold that controller.
There is.
And if you weren't holding it correctly, no. I didn't like you.
That was another lesson in that Birds and Bees game. There's a correct way to hold it. If you don't,
No, you're doing it wrong. No, son, give it to me. Here, I'll show you how it's done. Dad, you just got the high score. Yeah, right.
That's right, I did.
Still got it. Wow.
Wow, Dad, that was over really fast.
A problem is this doesn't normally happen.
Well, I'm getting old. I'm getting up there.
Jeez.
I have a headache. Ah, crap. No, come back. We try again.
Here, just give me like 15 minutes.
Oh, it's funny. I picture like Dad just taking the controller from his kid.
Pushing him aside. Or he's like playing it late at night. After the kids go to bed, he's like, I'm going for the high score. Then you have to put in like a fake alias name or something,
Yeah.
Or say that, like, type it in that your kid, like, got this high score.
No, it's him. The kid's a natural.
Up top.
Okay. Let's get to our Revs and Recs. We only have one this week.
The one that I wanted to talk about is Mech Cadet U. Now, this is made by Greg. This is a comic book put out by Greg Pak, Takeshi Miyazawa, and Tarina Farewell. And this one, it's about a group. Well, every 4 years, these robots that are similar to, like you described it earlier, as like Pacific Rim.
Right.
These ginormous mech robots drop from the sky. Nobody knows why or what their purpose is, but they drop down and they connect and bond to a person. And the initial, like the first one happened 50 years ago, and it bonded to this one kid that was a scout, that he just happened to like make a connection with him. He went on to become like a huge hero, saving the day. And every 4 years, 3 of these mechs dropped from the sky. Well, this year was a little bit different because you only had 2 that dropped from the sky, and the third one ends up landing a couple of miles away with this one kid who's a janitor. His mom's a janitor and he's a custodian at this academy that they've created that's right next to where these aliens drop, so that they can basically train these kids to get them ready to accept one of these robots, or just make that, and if they don't, then they can still go on to like have successful careers, but like kind of giving them an edge above everybody else.
Yeah.
But this one goes to this custodian kid, and he's honestly kind of different. Like, for the most part, all of these other mechs, you understand what their purpose is, and they have these cool abilities that they're learning right off the bat. Like, one can shoot his arms and catch things, or shoots rockets out of his back. Another one does like other, cool acrobatic stunts. For the most part, they can all fly. But this one, he's not really tapped into any of these unique powers. But this kid's always gung-ho and happy to help. And these aliens keep dropping from the sky, and they use these mechs to fight them back. There was a great war that took place. It's pretty fascinating. It's very kid friendly, as far like in some of the places where you'd normally expect like swearing to take place, like when they see this huge alien like stab into this kid's leg, they're like, oh crap, oh fiddlesticks, like you're like, those wouldn't be my words that I would say necessarily.
Oh gosh darn it.
Oh man,
I've just been stabbed.
Shucks. But it's pretty fun and pretty entertaining. They've only released the first 2 volumes, I believe. Volume 3 is coming out, if not like just recently dropped. But yeah, if you're needing something, you want to get your kids into comic books and something that you could still enjoy yourself, this is definitely would be right up your alley.
Okay.
The art style is pretty cool and pretty straightforward. Yeah. That would be my recommendation. Mech Cadet U. YU.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Do we want to mention that we'll be recording on Saturday?
Yes.
And make note of that?
Yes. This Saturday, we are going to be taking part at Home Con. Us and the rest of the podcasts on Cosmic Potato Network. This Saturday at 10 p.m. Central Time, which is actually 9 a.m. here. Just found out that the other day.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 9 a.m. that we have to record. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be on Facebook. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll send out a link and everything, and we're going to be talking about Batman the Animated Series.
Something that's near and dear to both Troy and my heart.
Yes. And we're just kind of going to go over everything, favorite episodes, favorite characters, the creation of the show, the voice actors behind it, everything.
Yeah.
We have a good...
break it down.
Yep, we have a good hour, and we're just going to talk about this awesome show. So, this Saturday. Okay. So, here's where you can find us. You can listen to all of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also wherever you can find your podcasts and CosmicPotatoNetwork.com. On the social media, we're at Facebook.com/WorldWGPodcast. Or excuse me, Facebook.com/WorldWarGPodcast. On Twitter and Instagram, we're at WWG Podcast. You can find all of our merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/WorldWarG. You can also email us anytime,
day or night,
at worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. You can also call or text the show at any time at 385-240-1692. So this has been World War G, episode 273. That has been Aiden.
That has been Troy.